The wind swept across the Utah desert like a whisper from another world, dry, electric, and thick with secrets. Towering above the scared red landscape, a jagged mountain stood sentinel, its dark silhouette etched against the dawn. For centuries, local legends told of strange occurrences in this region, a place known to the Ute tribe as Forbidden Ground. But it wasn't until recent scientific readings and underground explorations that the true depth of the mystery began to surface. Nestled not far from the infamous Skinwalker Ranch, Blind Frog Ranch has long been a site of interest for treasure hunters, fringe scientists, and skeptics alike. Duane Ollinger, a former oil contractor turned relentless truth seeker, purchased the 160-acre ranch with the belief that something ancient, and perhaps otherworldly, lay beneath its soil. What he found defied every expectation. It began with the caverns. While conducting seismic scans to trace the rumored Aztec gold tunnels, a peculiar signal emerged. The scans revealed not just natural cavities, but symmetrical voids, rooms, chambers, far too uniform to be formed by nature. One chamber, located beneath a granite outcrop in the northern slope of the mountain, measured nearly 30 feet wide, with geometric alignments that appeared to mirror the stars above. Another, deeper chamber lay more than 200 feet below the surface. This one pulsed faintly on the instruments, registering energy readings the team had never seen before. Whatever was down there, it was active. Scientists initially suspected geothermal activity, but there was no accompanying heat signature, no radiation, no chemical anomalies in the surrounding rock. Instead, a gravimetric anomaly hovered near the second chamber. In plain terms, gravity bent, slightly, imperceptibly to the human body, but undeniably to the equipment. This was not just a hidden chamber. It was something stranger, a gravitational sink. A miniature black hole theory seemed absurd. Black holes exist in deep space, not underground in the deserts of Utah. But data doesn't lie. Muon tomography scans confirmed matter was being affected by a force not native to Earth's crust. Metal objects placed near the entrance of a borehole shifted slightly inward, as though nudged by an unseen hand. Magnetic interference scrambled drones and sensors. Then came the whispering. Multiple team members reported a high-pitched sound that didn't register on audio equipment. Some described it as mechanical, like gears ticking far below ground. Others claimed to hear words, barely audible, in languages they didn't understand. Skeptics called it mass suggestion, but a few linguists brought in to listen to enhanced recordings identified phonetic patterns bearing resemblance to ancient Sumerian and Basque. Languages separated by thousands of miles and millennia. Deeper exploration was halted when the drilling rig malfunctioned near the second chamber. A steel bit twisted into a corkscrew within seconds, as though torqued by impossible force. A backup bit fractured under similar conditions. Engineers reviewed the footage again and again. No seismic activity. No magnetic surge. Just an invisible pressure that seemed to defend whatever lay below. Duane brought in specialists, geologists, physicists, even a former CERN technician. One physicist, Dr. Callan Rodriguez, proposed a controversial hypothesis that the chamber below contained not a black hole, but a gravitational anomaly akin to one. A tear in the Earth's gravitational field. Not enough to swallow matter like a true black hole, but sufficient to bend time and space, an energy source from a place where the known laws of physics break down. Could this anomaly be natural? Or was it created? Further examination of core samples revealed metals laced with isotopic ratios not found on Earth. Some of the samples had traces of element 115, unconfirmed for decades until briefly synthesized in laboratories under extreme conditions. Yet here it was, embedded in rock strata more than 10,000 years old. Evidence of ancient, intelligent technology, or something beyond intelligence. Archaeological clues began to surface. Ancient petroglyphs found in nearby caverns depicted humanoid figures emerging from circular tunnels beneath the mountain. Several glyphs showed spiral symbols, almost identical to diagrams of gravitational lensing used in modern astrophysics. One panel depicted an obelisk, levitating within a chamber, surrounded by arcs of light. When overlaid with the chamber map generated by seismic imaging, the match was uncanny. It wasn't long before the government showed interest. Satellite flyovers increased. Helicopters hovered over the site at odd hours. A survey team sent to install an underground sensor array was intercepted and told to vacate the area due to unstable geological conditions. But the mountain had never been prone to landslides. The warning made no sense, unless it was a cover. Nighttime trail figures near the borehole. They moved too quickly to be ordinary humans, blurs of motion that triggered sensors but left no footprints. A single image captured the glint of metallic limbs. Not human, not animal, something in between. Despite the risks, Duane and his team continued their research, shifting focus from excavation to measurement. They deployed LiDAR drones to map the internal structure from above, bouncing infrared light through the porous limestone. The results revealed a complex network of tunnels beneath the mountain, forming a shape that resembled a torus, the same geometry used in theoretical models of wormholes and black hole containment fields. This wasn't just a natural anomaly. It was engineered. The implications were staggering. If the gravitational anomaly was a form of controlled black hole energy, possibly stabilized by structures far older than known civilization, it could change our understanding of physics, time travel, and energy generation. This could be the missing link behind legends of ancient star visitors, forgotten gods, or lost civilizations that vanished into the earth. The psychological toll on the team began to mount. Several members reported vivid dreams of being underground, surrounded by pulsating walls of light. One geologist resigned after claiming he'd seen a living shadow move through solid rock. Another became obsessed with drawing spirals on every surface, walls, napkins, even his arms, before disappearing entirely. Still, the data remained consistent. The energy signatures below the mountain weren't fading. If anything, they were increasing. An influx of neutrino activity, particles normally associated with nuclear reactions or cosmic phenomena, spiked over the site for 3 consecutive nights. Something was waking up. The mountain began to hum. Not metaphorically. Instruments registered an ultra-low frequency vibration, constant and rhythmic, originating from the heart of the second chamber. It was as though a great machine had been dormant for millennia, slowly stirring in the deep. No seismic origin, no tectonic movement, just a beat, pulsing in time with the very fabric of the rock. Soon after, a drone sent into a lateral shaft near the anomaly vanished. The feed cut mid-transmission. When it was recovered days later, the footage showed a frame of impossible architecture, hexagonal pillars, walls that shimmered like mercury, and a hovering sphere emitting soft blue light. The drone's casing was warped, molecularly altered. Duane called off further drilling. Not out of fear, but reverence. The mountain had spoken. Whether it housed ancient alien technology, a stabilized black hole, or the remnants of a civilization lost to time and gravity, one thing was clear. Blind Frog Ranch was no longer just a mystery of folklore and buried treasure. It was a gateway, a liminal place where physics broke, history bled into myth, and something far older than humanity waited in the dark. Dawn crept over the desert, casting long golden shadows across the rugged terrain of eastern Utah. Near the convergence of myth and geology sat Blind Frog Ranch, a 160-acre expanse cloaked in swirling stories, unexplained lights, and the persistent riddle of ancient treasure. But recent findings suggested something far more profound than gold was buried in the earth, something no legend had ever fully captured. Hidden chambers had been detected. Energy fields not of this world had begun to stir. And above it all, an ancient mountain stood silent, its slopes laced with secrets, its core pulsing with a power no one could name. Subsurface scans lit up with anomaly imaging equipment, once used for petroleum mapping, revealed voids in the earth. Chambers carved into the rock in geometric precision. One lay beneath a collapsed section of limestone, roughly 20 feet in diameter. Another, significantly deeper, had perfectly square edges and a smooth interior signature, unnatural in every sense. When ground-penetrating radar swept the ridge just north of the ranch's main site, it returned something even stranger, a sphere-shaped cavity surrounded by metallic traces and electromagnetic echoing. Equipment failed intermittently. Batteries drained without explanation. Static clouded radios. Every step closer to the mountain's heart made technology tremble. The deeper team members dug, the stranger things became. Core samples extracted near the anomalies contained metals with unknown crystalline structures. Element 115 was detected, once theoretical, now only synthesized briefly in controlled environments. Yet here it was, embedded in thousand-year-old rock. Time-worn cave drawings found nearby depicted figures emerging from beneath the earth. Spiral symbols surrounded their heads like halos or vortexes. Other symbols matched no known language, but their arrangement bore mathematical patterns resembling gravitational waves. Even stranger, one drawing mirrored a torus-shaped field-theorized structure, stable wormhole.